So, just how do you apply for a job? You know, I was doing some research for my blog, my next blog post, and when I was doing my research, one of the most popular searches that came up was related to job search was, how do you apply for a job? And it really made me think because I'm in contact with some teenagers at this point because I have a teenage son, and other teenagers around him who may be trying to land their first job, or they may be trying to grow their career or what have you. And so it reminded me when that search came up that I cannot always take for granted that a person automatically knows what it takes to apply for a job. So that's what this video is dedicated to today. For those of you who are just entering the workforce, or you've only had maybe a part-time job in the past, and maybe you're about to graduate from high school or college or a training program, and it's time for you to really kick your career off, and you're wondering, just how do I apply for a job? So let me tell you that as important as a resume is, you actually do not have to have a resume to apply for a job. However, it does give you an additional level of finesse, if you would, as a job seeker when you do have a resume. Because one thing you're going to need, whether or not you have a resume, you're going to need to have your work history and some things about, especially if you're newer to the workforce, to the labor market, you need to have some things documented or jotted down as notes that you can refer to while you complete the application for the job that you're interested in. And so some of those things that if you have little to no work experience, some of the things that you want to hone in on with your first job application or application for your first job is things that you experienced in high school that prepared you, that gave you those transferable skills that would make you transition from being a good student to being a good employee. And so you need to think about classes that you took in high school that taught you how to be organized, taught you how to do research, writing reports, your different math-related classes that taught you how to do measurements and formulas and things like that, because depending upon what your interest is for your career, that particular career field is going to require different skills. But something that is going to a few things that are going to usually be important regardless of the career that you seek or hope for or pursue are strong communication. And that includes not just talking, but listening and understanding what the person who you are in conversation with is saying and making sure that you understand them clearly. Because when you have a job, regardless of the level that you are at, from entry level up to the CEO of the company, you're going to be reporting to someone. You're either going to be reporting to a supervisor or a manager if you're a staff level or entry level employee. If you're an entry level manager or director or an executive, lower level executive on up to senior executive, you're going to have to report to someone. Someone is going to rate your performance. That's going to often have a direct impact on the types of pay increases that you receive, because someone is going to assess the quality of your work. And if you are the CEO or the general manager of a company or the president, then you're likely going to be reporting to either a board of directors, or if it's public sector, you're likely going to be reporting to a board of commissioners or a city manager. So just understand that regardless, you're going to have to report to someone. So, and you're going to have to interact with others. Even if your job on a daily basis doesn't always require you to work on teams, you're still going to have to interact with others. So you want to document what your how you gain communication skills. Also, organization skills are very, very important, and communication includes written and verbal communication. And then I'm trying to think of, there was something else I had in mind that I wanted to share with you, but communication is key, organization is key, and strong interpersonal relationships. How you get along with those around you. Are you difficult to get along with? Are you always hard to please? Or are you a person who can interact with others in a respectful, mutually respectful way that will help you to, both of you, to remain productive, and you support each other in the work environment, and you see one person's success or the team's success as everybody's success. So first of all, have those things. So like I said, you don't have to have a resume, but because a resume highlights those types of skills, it's best to go ahead and have a resume. And then even though you don't have to have a cover letter, especially if you're looking for part-time work, or even seasonal work or what have you, you don't have to have a cover letter. But when I tell you that as you become more experienced in your field of interest, or you get more into the professional level of your career, you better have a resume and a cover letter, because most hiring managers are going to look at your lack of having those as they're going to give you demerits, let's say. They're going to count off some, because they're going to feel like you didn't feel the job was important enough for you to go that extra mile and develop a resume. But let's say you don't have any of that, and you see a job today that you want to apply for, and it closes at 11:59 p.m. tonight, and there's no way that you're going to be able to get a resume and a cover letter together in time to apply for the job. What you need to do is jot down your work history, when you worked, for month and year of when you worked each one of your jobs. List them in reverse chronological order, meaning that you start with your current or most recent job, and you list that. What company did you work for? What was your job title? What month and year did you start working for that particular employer? And what month and year did you leave that particular employer? And you just keep going backwards through your work history like that. Then, if you have no official work history, like when my now 17-year-old started out, he didn't have, of course, he was a high schooler. So what we did was we did a resume for him, but what we focused on were his chores around the house that showed that he knew how to take on responsibility. And let me tell y'all that the teenager heard me talking about him, and he is now standing on the other side of my computer looking at me. He's my child. I can use him as an example in my video if I want to, because why? I'm mama. So anyway, let's continue this conversation. So what we did was we focused on his experience as a student, as a football player. Well, actually, not only football, but he played I-9 sports during his younger years when he was a young tyke, 9 and 10 years old, 8, 9, 10 years old, or what have you. So he played flag football, soccer, basketball, all of the sports. So he got into swimming and what have you. And each one of those sports teaches you different things. Now, the common thing that they all teach you is teamwork, and it teaches you motivation, like self-motivation skills, and following, being able to follow directions. And it also gives you, I'm at a loss for the word, in work ethic. So the teenager is still helping me out. So it does give you a work ethic, because when you're an athlete, when you're playing a sport, they don't allow you to give up. Sometimes even when you get hurt a little bit, they don't allow you to give up. They teach you to push. So it teaches you that, hey, you're going to have some ups and downs in life, in your career, in every aspect of life. You're going to have some ups and downs. That's what makes life interesting, are the ups and downs. But you always have to know that you can overcome those downs. And you can do even better when you're on the upside, because you are resilient. All of us are. And it's all in the majority of it is in our mind. So if you think that you're resilient, yes, you're resilient. And those types of that type of involvement in sports, intramural sports or school sports and what have you, it shows that you have certain characteristics about yourself, even leadership. Because as an athlete, you can be the leader of your group, informally or formally, where others watch you and they're inspired by you because of your determination and because of your drive to do well in that sport or that particular activity. So don't let it stop you if you have never had a job and this is the first time that you are applying for a job. Just think back about research papers that you've written. That's the type of communication, of course, written communication. And then think of even when you're playing, like in competition with like family members, playing just games at home and things like that, and thinking about how quickly you can come up with ideas and figure difficult riddles and words and things like that out. All of those can be used to show that you have what it takes to be a great employee on that job that you are going after. So when I see the question, what does it take to apply for a job? It takes a can-do spirit. It takes a growth or success mindset. And it takes a lot of determination and the ability to see the crossover of how certain activities that are not seen as work-related have still helped to prepare you for that job. And if you do have some work experience, the additional thing that you need is a list, like I said, or a reverse date order list of all of the jobs that you have held since you started working, and a short description of your top duties and responsibilities that you perform on each one of those jobs. So I hope that you have found value in this piece. My name is Cynthia. I am an HR pro. I have been, or an HR subject matter expert, I would say. I have been doing human resources since 1991. Yes, almost 33 years. I'm in my 33rd year of practicing human resources, and I love it. And one of the things that I enjoy most is my two favorite areas are talent acquisition or recruitment, because I love helping people find jobs, and I like to celebrate their successes with them. And the other is employee relations, because I believe in positive employee relations and being a part of the workplace solution, even when we're facing some difficult challenges. And I want to help you live your very best career life. So if you want more information like this, I'm going to ask you to do me a big favor. Click on that thumbs up button. Let the algorithm know that this is great information or content that others need to have. Share it with your network. I'm sure you know someone else who wants to live their very best career life. And when you're ready, subscribe. Subscribe to my channel and become a member of the Nnamtique fold. I would love to have you here. And I'm also going to link in the pinned comment some free training that I'll be offering soon that I would love to have you join me for. And I hope to see you for more videos or over on my website, HR by Nnamtique. And until then, enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, I am always wishing you career success. Bye.